the platform with experts. I merely have my only experience and friends to be able to impart some of my knowledge. You guys are the experts, and you're bringing a wealth of information and support and help to people out there. You can tell, I know, Karen, you're smiling, but if you see what I'm reading in the Mixcloud chat room, you can see that everybody is benefiting from you guys here today. So thank you guys. And, I'm conscious that we've got like 50, like
More
half an
minutes.
hour left to get the rest of this in. So I'm going to let you
Yeah.
guys continue the talking
Yeah,
and just
and
close
I'm
up
gonna
for a
kind of
second.
I'm gonna bounce
Yeah.
with Kareem. So Kareem, we talked a little bit about acceptance and what that looks like and what
Yeah.
that feels like, and I know we got to talk about recovery because we're talking about the dumpy now. We haven't even got onto the
Yeah.
dumper in
I
terms
know. I
of the
put the
different
stages in
emotions.
there.
So let's think a little bit about recovery. What does recovery look like for people when they've gone through this situation? They've gone through the depression, they've gone through the anger, there's a sense of acceptance, they're now in recovery. What does recovery look like? I can talk about
Okay.
recovery from my perspective, but
Yeah, so I put a couple of notes in, so maybe that can go on screen. And I'm also eager to talk about the dumper as well, and to kind of cater to that side of the equation. So healing, feel everything, because whatever you don't feel sits in your body, and then you move on to the next relationship, and guess what happens? What you push down comes up, and then not in the nicest way, right? So feel everything, commit to healing, accept that as well. The healing's not linear. One day, again, you could be feeling, yeah, I'm good, I'm great. And then the next day, you're angry. Maybe you were reminded of something, a song came on, or something, you're reminded in some way. You saw a photo, anything. And then you got triggered, and now you're angry again. Or maybe you go back to denial and you try to talk yourself into maybe it not being real, and trying again and all of that. So the bottom line is it's not linear. So accepting that you're going to be going back and forth.
and in
Time,
that
I say, does not heal you. Time does not heal you. People say, "Oh, give it time." How long? How long? How long? There's no answer to that. You heal you. Once you step in and say, "Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to take the steps, no matter how long it takes." That's when you are walking in healing. If you sit there and wait for time, I'm afraid I got to, I tell you, you're going to be sitting there for a while, waiting for something that's not going to happen until you decide to. So deciding to heal, accepting it's not linear, feeling everything, and most of all, focusing on self-love during the whole process. Self-love, self-care, and I'm going to say forgiveness. Ooh, that's another big topic, but that also will help you to release and move forward. And that isn't always easy. And again, another big topic, but that's what
yeah,
I would say in a nutshell: recovery, and get help and support to do that.
and recovery also looks like I was on a different platform this week, and I interviewed this gentleman, really eloquent gentleman, 61, and he came and he presented about his journey through mental health, and part of his recovery was his physical well-being. So this man now runs ultra marathons. That means he does 2 marathons in a day. And he also talked about his relationship with God and the importance of spirituality in his life. And recovery looks like different things for different people. And when you're in that recovery place, it's a maintenance, because as Karine said, you might fall back one day, you might hear the song that they played at your wedding, you might go to a venue that something might trigger you, and you might start this whole process again where you might be in denial of that, or you might be in the state of depression. It could be for a day, or you could be angry, and then you move back into that recovery kind of mindset. So I think we kind of explored what the dumpy feels. So we talked about reflect, denial, depression, anger, acceptance, and recovery. Let's think about the person who does the dumping, because
Yeah.
there was a word that we used earlier when we was having some discussions about the show, and 2023, I posted this on my social media platforms. Look, this year, 2023, I think the word narcissism and narcissist became like a buzzword because lots of people were using it. And we're not going to go into it. 2024, the buzzword needs to be accountability. So sometimes when we label narcissistic behavior, sometimes we have to take accountability. So let's think about the dumper. It doesn't mean that they're a narcissist per se. So we're not going to talk about narcissism because that's a chunk. That's a big chunk of conversation. So Kareen, let's talk about the dumper. Let's talk about the stages that they go through. Tell me the stages that they go through.
All right. So there's relief, elation, memories, neutrality, and sadness. And again, that can be cycled through. There's no, I wish I could show people the graphic, but on the graphic, there's these arrows just leading from one stage to another. There's no beginning and there's no end, right? So we can cycle through this, as someone who has to let go of someone else or break up with another person. Dumper, is a bit of a harsh word.
So
but
say the 5 stages again slowly.
All right, relief. There should
be
on the
to
screen.
Look for the diagram, so I'll try and look for it in the background to put up whilst you guys are talking. Sorry.
So relief, elation, memories, neutrality, and sadness. So do you want to speak? I could start with relief. Anyone who has been in a long-term relationship, and I speak to myself for this as well, that has had to let go or dump someone else, goes through that nervousness and that anxiety. You're going to do it. It's just when. And during there's a stage, there's anxiety, nervousness, because you're about to do something that in your heart, even though it's, regardless of how the relationship has been, it's not going to be easy and there's going to be pain. But afterwards, the minute after, the seconds afterwards, there's relief because it's out. It's out. Finally, you've managed. It's what you've been holding inside. You've let it out. You've released it. So there's that feeling of just feeling lighter in that moment, right? That's the relief stage.
Yeah. Elation. I think it speaks for itself, doesn't it? You feel elated. You feel overjoyed.
Well,
you feel a new sense of self.
Especially if it's been a difficult relationship. So you were speaking earlier, Scotty, about mutual disengagements, like I'm going to say conscious uncoupling, I like to call it. There's actually a book called Conscious Uncoupling. Most people, it doesn't work that way. There's one usually in that decides this is happening and too bad, too sad, right? So that elation is finally, maybe it was abusive and or destructive, and maybe you're finally out of it. So that elation is that feeling of a couple of things. I'm happy I'm out of it. I don't have to go through all of that, and also happy about the future. And we speak about losses, but then there's gains on this end. There's a gain. The gain is my freedom. The gain is my happiness. The gain is my safety. The gain is now me being able to project and really feel the potential of a really exciting, happy future versus maybe what it was on the road to be.
And that elation.
I would think about that, the elation.
It's a feeling of a new beginning. It's a feeling of connecting with yourself. It's a feeling, and in that elation, I think it's intertwined with memories, because that elation can sometimes be triggered by thinking about the memories of the abuse. And when we think about abuse, most people, when we say abuse, think about physical abuse. But there's so many aspects of abuse. There's financial abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's isolation abuse, where you isolate someone from a support network. So abuse can cover lots of different spectrums. It's not just about physical violence. It's a number of psychological abuses. But that elation is a feeling of being able to be connected to yourself again. It's almost giving you joy to think about the things. Who was I before the relationship? What did I enjoy? And it's almost reconnecting with that. And if I think about memories, what you want to say, Kay?
And also the excitement of finding out who I am outside of this relationship, that can be exciting too.
And memories, I think Memories are, so many memories are triggered in so many different ways, and it can trigger so much different emotions. So memories could be of the good times that you've had, it could be of the bad times, it could be of people that you shared spaces with. And sometimes the memories come flooding back, and you might feel a sense of elation, or you might feel a sense of sadness. So I think it's all intertwined. It doesn't, right, you just have memories, then you move to neutrality, then sadness. I think it's all intertwined. I think it interplays with each other. And what do you think about memories, Kay?
So very quickly,
Yeah, go on,
guys,
go
just
ahead.
in the chat room, Adelaide had put, and regarding forgiving, you can start forgiving yourself for choosing what you choose, or what or who you choose at this time. And Royal SMS Shorty agrees with that. But Lady B also says, I certainly felt the anxiety of letting go in a relationship, feeling like I would be hurting my ex, but I did feel immense relief after I did it, and freedom to heal.
Thank
And
you.
in relation to that, there's a great film, actually, and you're going through the 5 stages of the dumper, which didn't really think about in terms of what they go through versus the dumpee. And there's a great film called The Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's a beautiful story about 2 people that are married, and in the beginning it shows them the epitome of happiness. They're together, they're doing everything together, they're laughing at each other's jokes, it doesn't matter what they look like. And then it starts to show the cracks in the marriage and what actually happens as it starts actually breaking down. That being Scarlett Johansson was the dumper in the marriage, and the stages that they went through. And just looking what you've written up there, it kind of like closely follows exactly what you've written up there in terms of what they went through in the marriage, and it breaking down and finding out who they were afterwards.
I'm curious of some of these comments, because I know everyone, listening has also had experience of being dumped or having to dump on either side. So it's interesting. Memories. Well, you're bound to have memories. You were with this person for, years or months as well. So let's not discount the shorter relationships, because it can be hot and heavy in a few months, and in a few years, you can have a relationship with someone for years and years and feel like, I don't even know this person, or how much have we really done, right? So let's not discount the short and the long-term ones. There is still the stages of grief, regardless of how quick it takes to go through or how long. It still happens for everyone in these categories. So yeah, memories. I'm gonna echo what Scotty said. It ties into the neutrality and the sadness. The memory, you have these memories, and it could create an instant sadness within you, because there's all emotions are tied to memories. So it's a stage that and I would say, as a dumper, we connect, and I'm going to speak to myself as well, and from my experience working with couples, we connect as a dumper. The dumper connects to the memories before dumping as well, trying to connect and feel, and before they make a decision. Either way, because it could be a negative memory. It could be a memory that creates a negative emotion that actually spurs the person to move towards letting go of that relationship. Right? Or again, it could be a highlight that triggers a happy memory. And then there's an instant sadness, because you still know, well, I still got to do what I got to do. So that's where the intertwining comes in, as Scotty was saying, with the stages.
I'm thinking about sadness, and is sadness, sometimes when they have an ex-partner and then they engage in intimacy again, or they embark on some type of fling or something, is that a way of coping with the sadness? Is almost trying to, I want to reconnect, but actually realizing I'm not in my state of sadness. I felt I wanted to reconnect with this person, but actually that's not what it is. It's something else.
Oh, are you speaking about reconnecting in a sexual way with the ex?
Yeah.
Remember, there's losses both sides too. Sometimes we
Mm,
don't think as the dumper there's a loss. Well, yeah, of course there is. Some of the same losses that the dumpee experiences, the dumper also experiences those,
mm,
regardless if they
mm,
made the choice.
mm,
And as you said, Alison, it's good to recognize that the dumper also has feelings too, that they also go through the losses as well. And that loss of companionship, familiarity, that familiar body, that familiar sexual energy, right?
mm,
Chemistry. So it's easy. And that may not have been the reason why you broke up.
mm. And you know
So
what's
that
interesting
happens
about
often.
this? You
But
know what's
also, as she
interesting
said,
about this?
it's linear, and you don't go through all the stages one by one. And I feel like that kind of sexual gratification comes. I could be wrong here. I'm so sorry. Could come into memories, right? You want to kind of remember what it was like, what it felt like in there. Yet you could be at the sadness stage. So you're right. It's all very, very
Yeah.
intertwining. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's interesting the stages of the dumper and the stages of the dumpy, because now my curiosity is kind of making me think, does the dumper or does the dumpy move into any of these stages, like where they actually reflect, or is that part of their recovery process where they now feel, Ross, this is a relief, I'm out of that, and they feel joy and elation, and they
Maybe.
have so could it go both ways? So the dumpy now feels actually the same emotions as the dumper in their recovery journey, because they've probably seen or had some understanding of what the relationship is. It's food for thought.
Yeah. Well, sadness is in there too, right? There's the depression, but
Mm,
there's also the sadness piece. Relief, because maybe they were staying for, I want to say, the wrong reason. So again, there could be
mm,
that relief in there as
mm,
well.
mm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for
Yeah, it's
everyone with relation, but memories, absolutely. Like, of course,
mm,
it could be like, I'm so I'm so glad actually that they dumped me, because then I don't have to be the bad guy, right?
mm,
I have to be
mm,
the bad guy. I was the one who's dumped, so I'm going to get all the sympathy, potentially.
mm.
So there could definitely be the relief or elation. Yeah, now I'm
Yeah,
free.
yeah,
I'm
the
free, and I
crossover.
can walk off with the clear, more of a clear conscience now, and do my thing over here. So, yeah, I do feel that the dumpy can experience some of these. Absolutely.
So
Is
there
it
was a
healthy to
question
remain
that's come up
single?
that I've put on the screen there.
Is it
Maybe you guys
healthy
can
to
answer.
remain
Is it healthy
single?
to? Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Is it healthy to remain single, fear of getting into a relationship and it's not working out? Is that a question? I think the first part, is it healthy to remain single? And the second part is fear of getting into a relationship and it's not working out.
Can
I
I?
think she's saying, is it actually healthy to remain single in fear of getting into a
Uh,
relationship,
Oh,
and it's not working out? So yeah.
okay. I'm gonna say no. Any fear isn't. It's not healthy to sit. I'm gonna say and dwell in any fear, or allow that to um, pause you in your tracks from making steps forward. Important to acknowledge it, um, but it's not healthy to stay single for that reason. I'm gonna say,
mm,
what I will say is healthy to heal.
yeah.
It's healthy to heal. I actually have. I'm just gonna put a quick plug. I actually have a worksheet that is called Preparing to Date, and I'm actually. It's not time to plug, but here we go. I'm doing a singles workshop, which is a 12-week program for people who are single, and we go through a lot of what we've been speaking about today. And at the end, we talk about preparing to date and the readiness to date. So if anyone's interested, please connect with me.
Yeah.
But again, it's healthy to heal and do that check-in. Am I ready? Right? And you can go back and forth in your own head, or you can actually do the work. I'm going to say properly, and do some exercises, or again get some therapy and sit down and talk to someone
Mm,
to really assess, because your mind can get in the way and either create fear or a readiness and you're not actually ready in your
mm,
body and in your spirit. So
mm. I
yeah,
think what
that's
you
my take.
said, Corinne, about plugging and so forth, and I think at the beginning of the conversation, we should have given the trigger warning that actually this stuff here might make people or
Mhm,
raise their consciousness or trigger some thoughts or trigger some feelings. And if people do feel
mhm,
that actually I'd like to have a discussion, I'd like 5-10 minutes to so forth, you can get in contact with Kareen, you can get in contact with me. One of the things that we was exploring before we talked about the show was offering someone like a 30-minute consultation if something in the show made them feel triggered or they wanted to explore it a bit more. So I'm gonna put my webpage. I don't know how to. I'm not good at IT, guys. I'm gonna figure out a way out to. Or maybe I'll give it to Alison and she do it. And Kareen, your details are in
Yeah,
there.
send it to me.
And there is a wide organisations of support networks out there. So you got BATAM, which is the Black and Asian Therapy Network. You got the BACP, which is the British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. You've got Psychology Today. So if anyone feels, sorry, that they want to have some type of conversation or this has triggered some thoughts in them, there's lots of support out there. And I know, Alison, you said, is it past? We got to think about winding up and
Oh, no. We've got another 15 minutes. We've got some good time.
Okay. So, yeah, I think today it's been really interesting for me. So even as a therapist, and this is what we talk about, continual professional development. So as therapists, sometimes we learn off each other. So something that I learned about when we was discussing the show was the different types of ways our relationships end. You have the dumper and the dumpy and the emotions that go through them. And that was really helpful for me on a professional level to help clients or to help some of the young people that I work with, and how all of these things are intertwined. And most of the time it's about understanding ourselves and our emotions and what we're feeling, and that recovery that we spoke about. We've gone through traumas, we've gone through losses, we've gone through bereavements, we've gone through ending of relationships, and that self-work is really important in terms of just trying to understand the different facets of who you are as a person. So I think today has been really kind of helpful for me to understand this, and we've touched on so many different subjects today that I think we wouldn't have done it no justice to even try to have entertained it. But there is lots of things that I think as a community we need to start having conversations about in a humble, respectful, courteous, sensitively attuned way. And I think that what we've done here today is we've just helped people to just think a little bit. And I say to people, what does therapy mean for me? Therapy means for me pausing. We get so consumed with life, the job, the money, the social status, Instagram, Facebook, the rave. Therapy means slowing down and being compassionate to yourself. So as a therapist, I will say I've learned a lot today, and there's probably still more that Kareen might want to say about the dumper and the dumpy. And before the show ends, I'm going to talk about how me and Kareen met around what we call synchronicity in life. And sometimes we have to allow synchronicity to happen in our lives for us to become who we're meant to be. Kareen, I don't know if you wanted to say anything or...
Yeah, there's a lot to say on this topic. I know there was something that you brought up, Alison. Like, do you want to go back to that so we can honor that?
Yeah, sorry. Let me just go back to that. So sometimes the dumper may have experienced the sadness during the relationship, understanding that even the sexual energy we shared stopped making me stay in the relationship. So she was basically saying she had a lot of sexual energy in that relationship, but obviously as the dumper is still experiencing sadness, she had to come out of it. Or however you want to translate that.
So when as a dumper, it doesn't mean you get to 100%. Okay, I hate this person, we're done now. It's more of, okay, I'm at 51 now. Remembering that there's a whole host of memories, there's a whole host of reasons why you're still connected, and sex can be one of those. But for the most part, now you've gone to that stage where you're past the 50% mark or somewhere between now and 100. And now it's more about you and what's important for you. So it doesn't, you can have lots of connections still, absolutely, and things that you connected on, which is also why it can be sad, because again, going back to those losses. And at some point, when you look at your life, you're like, well, what do I need holistically, all around? What do I need? Is one section or one area of satisfaction enough for me to walk forward in life with? So, yeah, just kind of in response to that comment.
I've got something else here. I'm just putting it up on the screen, actually. And it comes from Empress Lee. And she's put, I would definitely like to talk to someone regarding ways I can help my friend without it impacting on myself. So, Empress Lee, you've got these two young people on screen now, and they're going to share their details before the end of the show in terms of ways in which you can get in touch. And if they can't help you, I'm sure they will pass you on to people who can. But please, guys, please ensure you share your social media details, or at least send them to me so I can get them up on the screen, just in case we've got any listeners that do want to kind of call in, have some help, have some therapy. Karen, you spoke about couples therapy as well. Scott, yourself as a therapist. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, I'm just looking for the link for my website.
While we are doing that, I'm gonna let me speak about neutrality quickly to like wrap up the stages. It's that sense of, okay, if you're in a car, right, and you drive stick. A lot of people are driving automatic, but I grew up on stick. There we are, using this analogy. That neutral place is, okay, what now? You can go in reverse or you can go forward. So it's this sense of, okay, I'm here. I'm just taking this. It's that pause. What now, right? So that's just to explain when we speak about neutrality stage, what it means and what it feels like. It's that, okay, I'm here. Okay, the what now, right? Before you decide on what to do. And sometimes you can backtrack. Again, this is when we go in reverse. This is when we rekindle. This is when we, maybe think about whether we've made the right decision or not. Or we can go forward and say, okay, I've done this now. What next? What do I do for myself? How do I move forward from this space? And that's what when we speak about neutrality, that's what we mean. And also, again, to just quickly go back to a point, Scott, you were saying, does the dumpy experience some of these same stages? Sometimes there's closure required. And when a closure is given to the dumpy, there's some relief. Oh, it wasn't me. Maybe it was just this person who decided they changed and they wanted different things, for example. And that closure in itself can bring some relief. To tie in with another comment someone made earlier about feeling that they're not enough, or any like negative feelings or about themselves or beliefs can come up when you have the closure. A dumpy can absolutely feel some relief from that too, months, years later, which just speaks to these stages of grief and how long they can potentially last. But yeah, that's all the stages. And obviously I know we're winding up now, but there's the healing, and maybe we can speak briefly about the barriers to healing if we have a little bit of time quickly.
Yes, we do definitely have some time, and it's so funny that you were going to talk about that, because one of my questions was, how do you, I'm sure we touched upon this before, but just how do you get to that stage of seeking help or therapy? Because a lot of people it's almost like self-destructive behavior. You need it, but you don't quite know how to go out and get it, or to get there, or to understand what you're going through, to even navigate those steps of doing that. And it's such a taboo subject, and it's something that we're not willing to spend money on ourselves. We'll spend it on makeup, we'll spend it on Netflix, and we'll spend it on cigarettes or whatever, alcohol, but we're not willing to spend just a smaller fraction of that on ourselves for self-care. As you said, we are very, very important in all of this.
Well, some of the barriers I've written here, I don't know, maybe if you can get that up on the screen. Sure. I've put shame, guilt, judgment of the self or judgment from other people, being stuck in a stage. It could be at the very beginning stage. And also I put friends and family. Ooh, the barriers. So, and it could, I don't want to say financial, because there's a lot of help out there that's free. That if we say, okay, instead of scrolling on these videos that I'm, cat and dog videos or whatever, I'm going to focus on connecting to sites and people that are inspirational, that are helpful, and that are supportive. So if money is an obstacle, there are still things that we can do to connect to support and healing. Podcasts, audiobooks, free information. So we can do that. Some more barriers are also friends and family. Let's say they hated your person and you broke up, so they're all happy and you're sitting there, you're not even allowing yourself to feel sad, or to kind of tell yourself, I'm not okay because I was the dumper, and plus everyone around me is so happy this person's gone. Some people don't even allow themselves to feel sad, as if there's guilt to feeling sad. So that speaks to some of the guilt, to some of the barriers to the shame. I've been in this so long, or I've been taking this abuse for so long, and it's so shameful that I don't even want to speak about this situation. Again, that could be a barrier. Judging yourself. Well, I dumped the person, so I'm not even going to give myself that space. We judge ourselves a lot. Sometimes we're our own worst critic. And yeah, friends and family. I mentioned the friends and family. So those are some barriers. And also the cultural barriers to getting therapy. It's, I'm going to speak about the Black community, because that's where I'm from and where I know from a personal place, and from a kind of British perspective as well. You see the US and you see shows and they're like, yeah, I have a therapist, like as if they have a toothbrush, right? But in the UK, it wasn't as common, or it was a bit more taboo to say, no, I have therapy, or I'm working on my mental health. You work on your physical health, but you don't want to work on your mental health. That's a part of who you are. So there are, again, some of the belief systems outdated, unhealthy, and some of the things I mentioned here can get in the way of you getting healing and help.
Yeah, but when you think about some of the belief systems, I mean, we speak about, you said at a drop of a hat, people seek therapy in the US, and in the UK, it's still quite taboo. Well, when you start going down to the Caribbean, it's almost like unheard of, let alone people spending money on therapy when they're, still some people want to spend it on food or whatever the case may be. So, it's difficult, and I wish that we could remove some of these barriers that we've got, and a lot of that is self-teaching, teaching your children to open up and talk a lot more within the family unit. I think is important. We've kind of stopped doing that with a lot of technology. We've stopped talking to people, hence the reason why we're seeing so much more videos out there saying, call your friend, just check that they're okay. And it is important to check that your friend is okay, because depression and all these signs that people may be going through is not automatically obvious to any.
I think that what we're doing today is part of breaking down the cultural barriers to accessing therapy, because you have myself and Kareen, we both are Black people, we both have lived experience, we've both trained, we're both humanistic, we're both approachable, and there is no shame around mental well-being. I say this to a lot of the people that I work with. If you are physically sick, you go to the doctor and you say, actually, I've got a pain in my elbow, I've got a pain in my shoulder. If you are unwell upstairs, or you're having negative thoughts, or there's no shame, because the both of them are correlated. Your physical well-being is tied to your mental well-being. Your mental well-being is tied to your physical well-being. And that's that recovery journey goes. The both of them intertwine. So we're the proof in the pudding, as they would say that. Not all therapists are the same. Previously, therapy was a middle-aged, white, European kind of pastime activity, but we're getting more and more Black therapists into the fold. And what that means is that we're culturally aware, we're sensitively attuned, and there's no shame in doing this type of work. There's no shame in it. And that's what I would say about accessing therapy, and what we're highlighting in terms of doing the therapy spot and what we're hoping to achieve. So I think it's a mission accomplished. I think we've reconnected today because we've been off air for a while. Corinne, my friend, my friend. It's weird. I'm going to share how me and Corinne met before we leave in terms of how synchronicity works. So Corinne was on holiday from Canada. It was an event in, I think it was North London. And I parked up my car and I saw one of my friends, and I was walking with my friend, some guy from South. And he saw two of his friends and he was talking to them, and Corinne was in tow with them. And then we just had a conversation. And Corinne said, I'm a therapist. And I said, I'm a therapist. And Corinne was saying, I wanted to connect with a therapist, but I didn't want to put like something on media or so forth. And we just connected as two therapists, and we've stayed connected, helped each other in difficult times through conversations and so forth. And synchronicity is something that's real. Sometimes you will synchronize with people. And I say reason, season, lifetime. Sometimes you sync with people because that's what the alignment is meant to happen. So I'm really grateful for having Corinne in my life. I'm grateful for the House Party Queen in terms of how we met in that short, brief conversation and what we've kind of done. And I think if this is meant to happen to support our community, then it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. And yeah, I'm just really happy that we was able to do this thinking, thoughtful conversation today.
It's been absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you. As you can hear, gosh, I'm having to do so many things in the background here. I'm having to switch my mic off when I'm not talking. But I hope you guys have had fun today. Well, not so much fun. I hope it's been informative for the Mixclouders and also for yourselves to learn about some of our audience out there. They are very interactive, Karen, or Kay, I should say. And I'd just like to thank you again for coming on. We couldn't have done this show talking about grief and all of the stages that we've been through, even though there's been so much information, and it's the show is long, and it's still hard to get all this information within 3 hours. It's difficult because there's just too much to say, too much knowledge imparted from the both of you, and all I can say is thank you so much. I'm sure the Mixclouders are thanking you. Before we go, I just want to read any comments. Adelaide McKenzie said, sometimes people don't feel they have an issue or that they'll be okay. Plus, yes, all the reasons, plus their pride. KK put, a barrier can be yourself. Soulful Solly Brown said, oh gosh, Mixcloud moving quickly. Good afternoon, all great show. Adelaide said, many Caribbeans suffer from vexation and deflection disease. KK says, the connotation around therapy is a barrier to people. Again, Adelaide says, yeah, we've been taught not to chat our business. Yes, remember that we've been taught that that's a generational thing. We were taught, everybody knows our parents, don't go chat your business out there. No one needs to know what's going on in the house. When that's what we should have been doing, really. We're turning that around. We're turning it around, hopefully, with our young people. Now, Empress Lee says, extremely helpful. Adelaide will listen again. Soulful Solly Brown says, fantastic insight today. Thank you all. Big up Scotty. Paula Paris says, great show, very informative. Martin Winter says, great show, well done. And KK says, thank you to all. So there you go, Karen. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. It's been a pleasure having you both. I'm sure we're going to have to repeat this show at some point, right? And have another show with you both still on.
We'll have a discussion. We'll have to think about it because synchronicity works, isn't it? Like
definitely, it's one to be discussed. Now, before we go, I've got your social media details up there on screen. And you can get Scott at www.scottthetherapist.com, as it says up there, and Kay is at selfeastsolutions.com, and obviously on Instagram it's Self-Ease Solutions, right? I think that's your handle there, we can see.
I've also got my YouTube channel as well, and I do guided meditation, so there's a lot that I'm going to be putting on there in terms of meditations and other helpful bits and pieces. I also wanted to mention the kind of the couple session that I'm willing to give away. So if someone wants to come and have that initial session with me, just put your name in the hat, so to speak, let me know, and I'm willing to do that virtually. So I'm here for that, and thank you so much to both of you for having me here today. It's been fun.
Thank you. And in that, what you're giving away there, instead of us saying, let's put names in the hat, what we're going to do is, okay, so we've put Kay's social media details up there. You're going to have to follow Kay on Instagram and say that you've been watching the therapy spot. You'd like the free couples therapy. You'd also have to go on to Scott's, follow his Instagram, and myself, the House Party Queen. Once we've seen you followed all three of us and written a comment, we will pick the name out to receive the therapy going on. So don't forget, social media details are up there. You know mine. You definitely know Scott. Scott's, what's your social media details? Instagram. Do you know?
Scotty Mindfulness. Scott, technology is, you know, technology is not my strong point. I have an Instagram page. It's called Scott. Yeah, Scotty Mindfulness Scott. That's my.
I'll find it whilst I'm wrapping up the end of the show. I'll make sure all your social media details are out there. So don't forget, guys. You've got to make sure that you respond to each of our social media handles and say you'd like some couples therapy, and Karen will pick someone's name out there and get in contact with you guys to receive that. Now, any last words from either of you before I go on to play some music and wrap up the show?
Can you do me a memory stick of some music, please?
Of course, Madonna, of course. It will cost you, though. It will cost you some we'll swap therapy music.
I will again say thank you, and to everyone, it's forgiveness, forgive others, forgive yourself, self-care, support, connection, all of the above, and vulnerability. It's such a strength in that, and let's talk more, let's connect more, and help each other heal. So thanks again for all the listeners as well for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time out.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
And everyone that made comments and, interacted. It's good. It's good times.
Well, like I said, thank you very much. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to take you both off screen. I'll see you both in the green room after the show. I'm just going to play a few tracks and then run the ads, and I'll see you afterwards. Once again, thank you, Mixclouders. Give a few fire signs or say thank you in the Mixcloud chat to Coach K and also to Scott, the therapist. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you again very soon. See you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so now you've got the House Party Queen on here. God, I've been changing labels, so now my name moniker is gone. It's all gone. It's all go today with the House Party Queen. But you know what? I'm going to play a track. And this is Intimate Connections. I love this version.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it.
So up there, as you can see, don't forget, social media for Scott is www.scottthetherapist.com, and K is Southeast Solutions. Don't forget. And don't forget, I've put Kay's YouTube channel in the chat. That's in there already. I'm mindful of videos. Go and have a look. Go visit Kay. So, okay, Scott's Instagram is scotty.mindfulness.scott.
Spread your wings for the flight. We'll take a pleasure cruise all
So Kenny Pippa says, Kenny P&E, I should say, my eyesight's going. He says, great show. Thank you so much, sir. Sugar Sweet says, thank you, HPQ. What would you do without me? Oh, thank you, Sugar Sweet. And Marley's 4 says, fantastic show. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again soon, hopefully. And Empress Lee says, do it again, do it again. Oh, we may do. We'll see. We'll see what's coming up.
You are on the Break it down for me. And the house party.
So what a great show. This was a therapy spot with myself, the house party queen, Scott the therapist, and Karen St. Omar, known professionally as Coach K. I've been calling her Karen all day. I should have been calling her Coach K. Great team, great show. Well, let's hope we can bring them back again on the therapy spot. We always touch upon so many subjects, right? And as we are sounding out with one of my last tracks before the ads, this has been the house party queen on the therapy spot. Good to have you guys on board, honestly.
We live from the head down and not the feet up. And I'm adorned with the pound. Just make a kiss up. And I'm fine, fine, under cloud nine. Yes, I will.
And don't forget, guys, remember everything, all the tips that you've been given today. It's all about loving yourself, right? Accepting, being in the here and now. Can appreciate that's not easy. It's all kind of learnt behaviour, right? But do some meditation. Meditation's great. Self-care, self-healing. Invest in yourself. Nobody else is gonna, right? Only you. And I hope you guys, like I said, have enjoyed this. Remember, self-care. Don't buy that pack of cigarettes. Spend it on some therapy. Yeah? Go swimming. Do some mindfulness.
I be a chameleon and wear it bone straight. But it's so much stronger when it's in its natural state. And I'm fine, fine, under cloud nine. Twist my cloud hand, it rains. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when it rains, and the energy.
And I don't know what it is, but after these shows, I always feel a little bit uplifted, a little bit happier. I've learned so much and things that I can take on board to use tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't let anyone hold you back. Only you are you, and only you can experience you. Be you, your real, authentic self. Don't be afraid.
We live from the head down and not the feet up. And I'm adorned with the crown that's making this up. and I'm fine. I'm so fine under cloud nine. Twist my cloudy it rains. Yes, it does. And when it rains.
So don't forget, I've got all the Instagram and details up there for Scott the Therapist and Kay also at Selfie Solutions on Instagram. Don't forget to win that 3 therapy session for couples. Go onto her Instagram, scotty.mindfulness.scott, and also HPQ on Instagram. So Verona Green says, thanks Scotty and HPQ and Kay for a wonderful afternoon of knowledge. Working on ourselves is so important. It so is. You know, don't stop working on yourself, everyone. It really is important to keep that self-care going and to always also encourage other people to have that self-care. And more importantly, don't forget to look out for your friends. They're just as important. Friends, family, whoever. So I'll leave you with that note. Thank you so much for tuning into the Therapy Spot. We'll be back at some point very soon. Other than that, I'm going to lead you into the ads break now, where it'll be the end of the show. Thank you once again, everybody. See you very, very soon.
We worldwide, baby. With DJs from London, Birmingham, Wolverhampton, Coventry, Nottingham, Northampton, Wales, Essex, Bournemouth, Leeds, Manchester, and the USA. We are GY Radio.
There ain't no other station like this.
Get your holidays. Get your weekenders. Get your tickets.co.uk.
Welcome to the Breakfast Flight Show Comedy Special with your host, Sharky DJ, and the House Party Queen, with our co-host, the fabulous Rudy Liquid. This month on the Comedy Special, we have Nathan Caton and Peter Francis. So look forward to the Breakfast Flight Show Comedy Special on Tuesday, the 5th of March from 7 till 10 a.m. Streaming live on Mixcloud and on GY Radio.
That's just how we roll.
Levi Washington and DJ Countryman presents the leap year version, where A Touch of Blue Day Rave, Sunday 31st of March 2024 at Penny Blacks, 132 to 134 Wolfside Street, Birmingham B1 1RQ. You'll be entertained with music by Miss L Vibes, Natural Mystic, Dial Tone Sound, Levi Washington and DJ Countryman. This is a ticket-only event. Tickets start from £7, available from Hitchman, Summit Records and getyourtickets.co.uk. The leap year version, We're A Touch of Blue Day Rave, Sunday 31st of March at Penny Blacks. More info 07597352547.
Are you ready for the ultimate reggae and soul weekend getaway? The Spring Soul Reggae Weekender is coming to the award-winning jacuzzi site, Hemsby Beach Holiday Park, Great Yarmouth, from the 22nd to 25th of March. Over 25 incredible DJs from London, Birmingham, Bedford and Ipswich play the hottest reggae and soul in 3 rooms until 4 a.m, plus live PAs on Saturday. Daytime, there's karaoke, line dancing classes, Zumba fitness, and Wannabe DJ, where you the people get to play, plus a nails, hair and massage centre and 360 camera booth. A 10-minute stroll takes you to the beautiful Hemsby seaside town and its golden beach. Our coaches from across the country make it easier than ever for you to join us for this unforgettable weekend. All-inclusive tickets from just £99. Go to getyourtickets.co.uk, or for more info, WhatsApp 078 777 99455. That's
Calling all medical staff to report to the front desk immediately, please. That's all medical staff to the front desk immediately. Thank you.
Zoom Banquet and Suite Roadshow presents their Doctors and Nurses themed party. Saturday 30th of March at the Bocco Bar, Kilburn High Road, NW6, 6HY from 9:30 till late. Two consultants on the night are Swaby Irie, MJR Roadshow, ELC, Mr. Romantic and James Capone. Super early bird tickets at £10. It's £15 after plus booking fee from getyourtickets.co.uk. For coaches from Birmingham and Luton, call 07943 854 001. Don't forget your Doctors and Nurses outfits for Saturday 30th of March at the Bocco Bar. Sponsored by Carry On Comedy's Iron Apple 2024, the party holiday of a lifetime.
James Shoe Care is your multi-service store in Barkingside, and Martin Winter has now been trading there for 13 years. Repairing your shoes, cutting your keys, engraving and supplying your sports trophies, stocks, leather and travel goods, repairing your watches and giving you the best service ever. He opens from 9 to 5:30 Monday to Saturday. So pop in. James Shoe Care, 97 High Street, Barkingside, Essex, IG6 2AH. Visit jscbarkingside.co.uk. Call 07985 118 123. James Shoe Care, Barkingside. We're not just a load of cobblers.
Here's GY Radio, the little station with big intentions.
You better know that.